Maximiliano decide he was going to murder a man?
Sometimes you're a fire, sometimes you're a ghost. Sometimes you can give me all the things that I love the most. Sometimes you're a queen, sometimes you're a curse, and sometimes a whole lot worse. Yeah, nobody's quite like you.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Blue Hell Worldwide here on Shaun Does FM episode 4 today, and we are going to bring you guys an FA Cup 4th round game against Greek outfit Atromitos, and then we're stepping into the Europa League and taking on Derby County in that for our third game in that competition. So if you're looking forward to this, remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and enjoy what you see here on the channel, then also consider hitting that subscribe button and turning that notification bell on as well. It is greatly appreciated. Sorry about the lack of videos the last few days, but it's been locked down here in New Zealand. Quite a few people around the house, and the weather has just not been playing ball for me to get any recording space. I usually film these videos in the lounge where I stay, so hasn't played ball, but hopefully we'll start getting back on track soonish. Lockdown ends on Wednesday for us here in the South Island, so at that stage we should be back on track, but I'll just do what I can in the meantime. But since the last episode where we wrapped up the transfer window and qualified for the Europa League against Rayo Vallecano, if you missed that episode, I will leave a link to it above my head. But we have played quite a few games since then, mostly in the Major League Soccer, our league here in this World Super League, but also a couple of Europa League games to start our group phase. First off, of course, we backed up the highlights that we showed you guys from the San Jose Earthquakes game with another game against American opposition FC Dallas, and we picked up the exact same result here, 3-0 away from home. Got off to a fairly good start in this one, took us until around the quarter of an hour mark, just knocking the ball about on the left-hand side. Somehow Koulibaly misses that header, and Johnny Effin Russell gets another goal this season to make it 1-0, and then at the half-hour mark, Louis Martins with a good long ball forward for Wilson Harris somehow gets around the goalkeeper, a little bit sloppy there from the Dallas defence, and he makes it 2-0. And then we got to the second half, 2-0 up at halftime, and with about 20 minutes to go, Hernandez to Cicelo, his shot blocked, and it's Cameron Duke with his first goal of the season here at Sporting Kansas City, and a very solid 3-0 win for us there. We weren't dominant that much stat-wise, but very clinical with our chances, and FC Dallas did throw a little bit at us, but nothing overly threatening, so a nice win to keep our rise up the table going, and that continued when taking on Mexican outfit Mazatlan and beating these guys 1-0 away from home. Took us a long time to get the breakthrough goal in this game. It was Wilson Harris coming off the bench, Tete picking out Zusi, a wonderful ball, and he just scoops it home for another goal, the young American striker, and that's what gave us the 3 points. A game that we were more dominant and would have felt a little bit harsh if we didn't grab that winning goal, but luckily we did. Potentially should have scored another one, but we'll take the 3 points away from home on our trip to Mexico. Then we entered the Europa League. We've been putting out the rotation team for this tournament now that we've met the board's objectives, starting to focus on the league just a little bit more. And first off, it was a game against Brazilian side Vasco da Gama, and quite a good result for us here, picking up a 1-0 win at home. Very even game stat-wise, this one, which is what you'd expect against a team who are up in the second tier. But Alexander Tete at the 50-minute mark with a wonderful strike from just outside the box into the top right corner. Stat-wise, pretty even. We have more shots on target. They have more shots overall, but that Tete strike proving the difference, and that's 3 really good points for us using the rotation team in our first Europa League group game, as I said, against second-tier opposition in Vasco da Gama. Off the back of that, back into the MLS with the full-strength team, taking on the Vancouver Whitecaps, and we picked up a 2-0 win at BC Place here. We opened the scoring just before halftime from a corner. Punchek getting on the end of a Zusi one and puts it into the bottom right corner to make it 1-0. And then about 10 minutes after halftime, Daniel Shalloy played through by Busio and bumps that past the goalkeeper at his near post. Our 2 young prospects with a fairly bright future combining nicely there and giving us a 2-0 win. You can see stat-wise Vancouver probably deserved a bit more out of that game, but another situation where we were more clinical with our chances than the opposition were, and that keeps our good run of form here at the club going. But unfortunately, then we come into today having just dropped off a little bit thanks to a loss in the Europa League, albeit a fairly gritty one from us because a fair bit happened in this game against CFR Cluj, the Romanian outfit on the same tier as us in this World Super League. But unfortunately, we did go down 1-0 in this game. And this was the key moment. Maximiliano decided he was going to murder a man. And that really was the turning point of this game, getting a straight red card for that at the quarter of an hour mark. And then we gave away a penalty later on for a push inside the penalty box in the 68th minute. And they put that away. In fact, the 69th minute, Diak putting that in the back of the net. And that was the difference. So we really did hang in that game quite nicely. If it wasn't for the Maximiliano moment of madness, we could have got a point out of that game. And also some just poor discipline from us throughout that game, giving the penalty away late on as well. But you look at the stats, we were doing pretty well just to only lose that game by 1 goal. There was a couple of good chances in the second half for Wilson Harris to try and pinch us a goal that at that stage would have put us in the lead, but it just wasn't to be one of those days, and I think we just flush it and move on. It does mean that Oliveira is going to be suspended from the Europa League for a little while, as you would expect for that tackle, and he's also going to be missing some World Super League games around December, I believe it is, because it was that bad of a challenge. So what that means for the MLS League, we're in a good position here. 8 games played, 2 points behind Junior FC at the top of the table, but you can see they've played 10 games. We've played less games than most of the teams around us, except for Atlanta United. So if we win our games in hand, we would be in a promotion spot, which would be very nice considering we were expected to be a mid-table team, maybe slightly overachieving by getting a top half finish this year. So a really good start to the season after those early losses to LAFC and Atlanta. We've bounced back quite nicely from those in the league, and in the Europa League, we're in an okay position after dropping those points to Cluj, who now go unbeaten top of the table. We're joint with Feyenoord on 3 points, and it's a bit of a cluster in behind Cluj with only 2 games played. Derby County currently at the bottom of the table, so hopefully we can get some points, hopefully 3 of them against those guys in the second game of today's episode. But we do start off playing the FA Cup, a competition that the board does expect us to be reaching the 6th round of. So we're going to be focusing our first team's attention on that game today against the Greek outfit Atromitos. They are in the Serie C, down in the 4th tier of the Super League. So it's a game that we really should be winning. We need to be winning to keep the board happy. We will be putting out our first choice 11, albeit Espinosa still has that broken ankle, so is going to be out for a little while. So Busio will be starting in his place, but we'll just get straight into this one. We'll come back shortly from Children's Mercy Park, where we look to progress through to the 5th round of the FA Cup. And we do have some TV coverage for today's games, which is nice. There's our first choice 11 with Busio in there ahead of the injured Espinosa. Of course, can't read the names of that colour scheme, but it is our first choice 11. And Atromitos, the Greek outfit, looking extremely defensive there with almost 8 at the back, it looked like. So might take some breaking down. We are in our dark blue outfit. They are in the light blue, and we do have an early throw in here as we look to get on top of the 4th tier team nice and early. A game that we are expected to win, a game that we do need to win so that we can make the 6th round, but we just knocked the ball out nicely outside the box. Our first team is still in pretty good form. It was the rotation who lost that game to Cluj in the Europa League, but there was a good chance early on, forces a good save out of the Atromitos goalkeeper, but we do keep possession just outside the box. That would have been a heck of a start inside 2 minutes, but Martins into Busio inside the box, tries to get a shot off. It is blocked, and early on it still remains 0. 11 minutes gone here, and we do have a corner. Martins to put it in, trying to find Punchek like we did in the MLS a few games ago against Vancouver, but this time it is cleared away by the Greek outfit, and Gloss gets the ball up to Sally, but Walter eventually gets forward to intercept the ball and is on the counter-attack for us, Illy, but then he loses the ball. It might be the Greek outfit trying to make the first breakthrough in this game. 12 minutes gone. It's a decent angle, forces a good save out of Tim Melia. 19 minutes gone here, and it is a free kick to Atromitos, so they do have a chance to go 1-0 up. He tries to pick out the top right corner. Very good save there out of Melia, but it is still 0 at the 20-minute mark. 24 minutes gone here, and we do have a throw and looking to get back on the front foot in this game after the Greek team have had the better of the last few highlights that we have seen after we had that very early chance. We get the ball out to Louis Martins, still playing quite well for us still is our left back, so quite happy that we've kept him in the first loop. Russell misses a header, it falls to Pulido. In fact, he doesn't miss the header, he gets the touch onto it, and Alan Pulido gets us 1-0 up about halfway through the first half, and that's exactly what we were after, trying to stem the flow of momentum that Atromitos were getting just after that first highlight to us. It's a nice ball from Zusi. I think Pulido might have got on the end of it anyway, but Johnny F. and Russell making sure, just pinching that assist off Zusi. And halfway through the first half, you can see just onside, we go 1-0 up thanks to Alan Pulido. And shortly off the back of that first goal, we have another corner here. Zusi trying to put it in for Illy, but he can't get his head to it. But Graham Zusi, the club legend, of course, now has the most appearances for the club in this game as well as in real life. Gets the ball back for us and is on the attack down the left-hand side. Interesting for the right back, but here's our corner taker. Russell gets his head to that one fully, and Zusi this time gets a well-deserved assist, and Johnny F. and Russell is having a blinder for us, an assist which he, to be fair, absolutely pinched off Zusi before, and a goal himself gets his head firmly onto this one. It was a 1-2 between Shalloy and Zusi from the edge of the box. Russell, nice header to go against the goalkeeper's momentum, couldn't go into that top right corner in time to save it. And shortly off the back of our first goal, we make it 2-0. And that is half time here in this FA Cup fourth round tie. Those two quick goals around the halfway mark of this first half, giving us a solid 2-0 lead. You can see stat-wise, they've given us a fair bit to think about here. Have the Greek outfit, but luckily we weathered that storm in the first half of that half and bounced back to get those two goals. And we're looking pretty solid 2-0 up here going into half time. We will make one change at half time. Martins on a yellow heart, so we will bring Maximiliano Oliveira on for him. Hopefully he doesn't feel like murdering someone today, because that would make things interesting in the second half, but looking pretty solid as we kick off the second half. 2-0 up in this fourth round of the FA Cup. 49 minutes gone here, and we have a throw-in to kick off the half, and Oliveira gets out to Russell, having a good game, tries to put a ball in the mixer, then he gets brought down, and he has earned us a penalty that was a pretty clear one. No VAR, it looks like, in this FA Cup, but it did look pretty clear-cut, a two-footed tackle on Russell. He looked to get the ball back, and Alan Pulido gets his brace for the day, and we are now 3-0 up with 40 minutes to go, and looking pretty safe against the team a division lower than us in this World Super League. Pretty clear-cut penalty, well taken into the bottom left corner, nice and low and hard, and we go 3-0 up with 40 minutes to go. And that is full time. No highlights since we got that third goal. We made a few changes late on, bringing Shelton and Kinda on for Shalloy and Russell, respectively, as they were getting tired, but we held on pretty comfortably for that 3-0 win. Nothing much happening in that second half apart from the goal. So a pretty solid win, albeit one you would expect from us against a team a division lower. Unfortunately, though, we did end the game with 10 men, because as you can see, Busio did go off with an injury. We'll just go forward and see how serious that is, but I'm hoping it isn't too bad, although he was forced from the field with about 2 added minutes left to play, so that could be a little bit of a concern for us, but we'll tell the boys that we're happy with that, and we'll just make our way forward to check on this Busio injury, and then we'll progress to the second game of today's episode against Derby County. And luckily for us, it is only a bruised knee. That's a bit of a relief. He wouldn't have been playing the second game of today's episode anyway, but that's just nice that he's only out for 1 to 2 days, so not a more serious one, which is nice to be able to say as we get a decent whack of money for that FA Cup win as well. But that will do for this first game of the episode, and we'll come back shortly for the second one as we enter the Europa League against Derby County. And we are back for this third game of our group stage of the Europa League. TV coverage again, we have pulled out the full rotation, even McIntosh and goals. So some new faces for you guys to get familiar with. And there's the Derby County lineup, if you can tell those names on the dark background. But looking at the standings, potentially it's a game at home we probably should be winning. But of course, it will be interesting to see how we get on against the team who are on the same tier as us. As we get this game underway, we are in the light blue, Derby County in the dark blue. 40 minutes gone here, the first highlight of the game, and it is a throw-in to us with Dia, who is playing left back for us, finding Kenda. Now Cameron Duke out to Shelton. Hopefully these wingers can find some form. We get brought down in the box, and they are going to check this. So this could be a chance for us to get on top in the first highlight of the game. It's been a very quiet one so far, nothing happening inside the first 40 minutes. And indeed, it is a penalty. So I'm not too sure who our penalty taker is in this rotation team. It is, in fact, Kerry Shelton. Good chance for him to put it away, but a good save from the goalkeeper there. Wasn't actually too much wrong with that penalty going for the bottom right corner, but the goalkeeper read it and pulled out a good save. But that was a really good chance for us to go 1-0 up just before half time. But it looks like it's going to remain 0-0 as we go into half time, unless we can get something going from this highlight, as Gutty kind of tries to put a ball in. It is cleared away, kind of runs it into touch, but a great chance for us from the penalty spot there. But it does remain 0-0 just shy of half time. And indeed, that is half time. Unfortunately, we did miss that penalty late on for Kerry Shelton after he won us the penalty. But apart from that, we looked really solid in that half, with Derby County not firing a shot at all. So if we can just keep playing the way that we were playing in that first half, albeit we did only see the one highlight, but based on the stats, looks like we've been pretty dominant in this game. So if we can keep that up in the second half, hopefully we can get a goal. We will make one change at halftime, though. You can see Wilson Harris is on a 6.3 rating, so we will make that change. But otherwise, same 11 to try and get us this breakthrough goal in the second half of this third Europa League group game. 47 minutes gone, we have an early throw in a nice area of the pitch. Duke Lindsay putting a ball in, trying to find kinda towards the back post, but just a bit too deep from that. It's a wonderful ball for Shelton, but he puts it wide. That might have been a better chance than from the penalty spot, truth be told. Really good one, but it still remains 0-0 early in the second half. 57 minutes gone here. We have another throw in the right half of the pitch, and Dyer makes his way down the left-hand side. What can he do here? Puts a ball in, trying to find Shelton again, and just over the bar. Some good chance today for Kerry Shelton, but still it's 0-0 at the hour mark. Okay, 62 minutes gone here, and we're going to make our second substitution. Jalen Lindsay on a yellow card and a 6.4 rating, so we'll try and inform Graham Zusi for him, get a player who doesn't have to ease off tackles and try and get this breakthrough goal with a half hour to go, as it still does remain 0-0 against Derby County. 70 minutes gone, we have another throw in a nice area of the pitch, and Dia gets the ball back from Duke Tete. Cicero just outside the box, unleashes one, but it had a lot of power on it, but goes wide, and it's still 0-0 with 20 minutes to go. And shortly off the back of that, another throw, and we're getting a lot of these in a good area of the pitch to be trying to get this first goal, which stat-wise, it does feel like we thoroughly deserve. Zusi on the run, trying to curve that into the top left corner, but again, it's high and wide, and it's still 0-0. 74 minutes gone here, a goal kick to Derby as they look to get something going in this game, and we look to break the deadlock, which feels deserved, but just not enough shots on target for us since that penalty that we had, which of course was missed by Shelton. I say missed, good save from Marshall in goal. They hoofed that long to Derby, and it's a poor header away there by our French centre-back in Issy Martin. They might try and pinch this off us here, will the English outfit. Long shot there, and it's just wide from them as well, so neither team really hitting the target at the moment, and it does remain 0-0 with quarter of an hour to go, but we will make our final sub. I think what we're going to do is see if Russell can do a little bit better than Kerry Shelton, who's missed a few good chances. He's played quite well for us, but we need someone, I think, a little bit more clinical in front of goal in this last quarter of an hour. So we'll see if Johnny F. and Russell can keep his good patch of form going, because we really should be winning this game 0-0 with 10 minutes to go. And we are into added time, but it just doesn't look like it's going to work for us. We'll try and get the boys going more attacking, but we are going to be held to a deadlock by Derby County, and that's a little bit frustrating. You look at the stats, we really should have potentially even scored 3 goals in that game, so that's a little bit of a disappointing performance from our backup outfit, albeit at least we didn't get fully FM'd and lose that game, but it's a game we definitely should have been winning, with the chances that we had some really good ones for Kerry Shelton off his head in the second half, as well as, of course, the penalty, which, to be fair, was very well saved by Marshall in goal for Derby County in the first half. But that feels like 2 drop points for us there, but we will still take the point and see where that puts us going forward. So as I said, a little bit of a frustrating draw for us there with the rotation team in that second game of today's episode, and what that means is that we are still in third position, 2 points clear of Young Boys, so a little bit of a gap on those guys now, but 2 points behind Feyenoord as well, with Cluj still going strong the Romanian outfit unbeaten from their first 3 games. So it's going to be a tough ask for us to get out of this Europa League group with Feyenoord in that second place. They're probably, in my opinion, the strongest team in this group, but we might see what happens against those guys in tomorrow's episode. That could be quite a big game to see how we position ourselves for the rest of this Europa League. Whether we go for it, see if we can qualify, but if we lose that game, they might put a decent gap on us along with Cluj, and that might make things a little bit tough. Might be time to maybe focus our attention elsewhere like we have been doing, to be fair, with the full team playing the league games in the MLS and the FA Cup anyway. So a win there would have been really good, keep pace with Feyenoord, but at least we didn't lose that game, I suppose, but definitely had some really good chances to be winning that game, even with the rotation. But that will do it for today's episode. We won't play too much off camera before tomorrow's episode because we've got a pretty interesting double coming up. I did say that we might be coming back for the Portland Timbers game, but the FA Cup 5th round has come up just before that, so we might keep with an FA Cup Europa League focus for now. First off, we'll take on Independiente Rivadavia from the 4th tier of this World Super League, an Argentinian outfit. If we beat those guys, we will tick off the FA Cup objective because we are expected to be reaching the 6th round of that competition. So that'll be the first game tomorrow. We'll probably use the first team for that game, and off the back of that, we will take on Feyenoord, which already is looking like a pretty big game because we've got no more Europa League games between now and then. So if we can beat those guys, we would go ahead of them into second place on the group stage table. But if they beat us, it would create at least a 5-point gap between us and first and second place in the group. And even with only 4 games gone out of 10, that might be a bit too much of a gap to make up, considering the quality of opposition that we do have in this Europa League group of ours. But in decent positions in all our competitions so far here at Sporting Kansas City, and hopefully we get a decent result in the meantime in the Super League 2 Cup against Akmat as well. We are expected to be reaching the round of 64 in that competition, so I think that involves us picking up 2 wins in that competition. But if you did enjoy today's episode, a win and a scrappy 0-0 draw in a game that we really should have won, then remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you're new around here and haven't done so already and enjoyed what you saw, then also hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. It is greatly appreciated. Hopefully the next episode won't be too far away, but I'll see what I can do with this lockdown here in New Zealand. And as I said, the weather and living situation at the moment doesn't really suit video making until about Wednesday, when we come out of lockdown. Should get back into a more regular sort of flow then. But until the next time I see you for the Independiente Rivadavia and Feyenoord double, thank you very much for watching. Keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.
Sometimes you can give me all the things that I love most. Sometimes you're a queen, sometimes you're a curse, and sometimes a whole lot worse. Yeah, nobody's